On this Christmas Eve, there is only one game in town, and it's not even in town unless you happen to be in Hawaii. It's the Hawaii Bowl, where host Hawaii is taking on California. And guys, that's the game, naturally, that I am breaking down today. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, general manager at DeMarcoSports.com. Listen, if you happen to go to the website or if you happen to be on the website today watching this video, you will see that none of the handicappers have a play on this game today because I gave them all a day off. Because listen, it's the only game in town. And other than the 3 days around the All-Star break, this is the only other day in the entire year where the guys get the day off. So what happens if you happen to be an All Access Pass member, or if you happen to be a member on a package with any of the handicappers, customer service has already added a day as compensation to your packages. So today isn't docked from those packages. You've already been compensated for it. But I wanted to do a video because I actually like the game. And if I was to be releasing this play on the site, it would be a 10 dime play, which is on a 5, 10, and 15 dime scale, how I rate the plays. This would be a 10 dime release. And for 10 dime plays, I am 5-1-1 in college football this season. So this is my rated play on the Hawaii Bowl. Currently, Hawaii is a 1.5 point favorite in this contest. Now, many times over the years, I've said about the Hawaii Bowl, beaches, blondes, bikinis. That's the Hawaii Bowl. And often that's with games in Hawaii late in the season, that teams that are going to Hawaii are focused on beaches, blondes, and bikinis, not necessarily football. Did you hear any F's in that alliteration with the B's? No. But I think today you have some special circumstances, and here's why. California's quarterback, whose name I am not about to try to pronounce, is from Hawaii. So he lives there, he's from Hawaii, and this is a big game. Plus, California's roster is dotted with Hawaiians. In fact, California just added 4 players to their next recruiting class from Hawaii. It is a fertile recruiting ground from the guys from Berkeley. Now, let's break this game down, though, from a X and O standpoint, okay? I look at Hawaii, a team that went 8-4 this year, and yes, they beat Stanford at home to start the season 23-20. But otherwise, their best win this season was knocking off San Diego State 38-6. Who else did they beat? Sam Houston, Portland State, Air Force, Utah State, Colorado State, Wyoming. Not a good team among any of those that I just mentioned. They lost to Arizona, got crushed. Lost to Fresno. Lost to San Jose. Lost to UNLV. Okay? They're going to play today without their number 1 receiver, Jackson Harris, who arrived, transferred out of Stanford, came here, had a great year, 49 catches, 12 touchdowns on those 49 catches, 932 yards. He's transferring out. Okay, first bowl game since 2020. Now, granted, they are 6-1 straight up at home this season, 5-1 against the spread, their last 6 as a home favorite. But I think this is a good spot to take California. A California team that did fire its coach, Justin Wilcox, after getting blown out in the game by Stanford. But then after that 31-10 loss, they fired Justin Wilcox. They put Nick Rolovich, the former Washington State coach who had been on their coaching staff, in an interim position. And what happens? The next week, they come out and host SMU, an SMU team that just had to win to keep their chances alive to get in the ACC championship game. They jump out to a 24-7 lead and win that game outright, 38-35. I mean, it was an incredible game. And SMU came into that game with a defense that had been, I think, giving up like 19 points or so a game. And they just absolutely had the Mustangs on their heels the entire game, jumping out to the 24-7 lead, as I said, and then winning it 38-35. And again, that SMU defense was only giving up 19 points and 385 yards per game coming into that, and California put 452 yards on the board. So California fires Justin Wilcox. They go out and they hire Oregon's defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. Let me just think of his name here. Tosh Lupoy. They hire him as their head coach. first thing they do is they go out, Nick Rolovich, they retain him as assistant offensive coordinator. The most important thing here, and this is the interesting sidebar to the story, a couple years ago when Stanford went out and they got Andrew Luck to be their general manager, which is the new thing in college football, California took a page out of that book and they went and got longtime NFL coach, player, management guy. They went out and got, God, I'm having a problem with names here today, Ron Rivera, and named him as their general manager back in March. And he has really gotten the boosters involved in the program, but really created an infrastructure for the Golden Bears, who really have been meandering for a number of years. Because it was on this day, a year ago on Christmas Eve, that Francisco Mendoza announced his commitment to Indiana. Well, how did that work out for undefeated number one ranked Indiana and Mendoza, who won the Heisman Trophy? Well, this year, the quarterback, who will remain nameless because, again, I'm not going to butcher his name, who has just had a tremendous freshman season, Rivera was not going to lose him to the portal. So they got the quarterback. He's committed to coming back. They got a coach, take over the program. They recommitted to Rolovich and kept him on staff as the assistant head coach. He is going to be the interim coach here for this game too, which is ironic because he was the former head coach at Hawaii, led his team, then coaching the Warriors into this Hawaii Bowl 3 times as the head coach when he was at Hawaii, winning it a couple of times, was at one time battling Tim Chang, the current head coach of Hawaii, as the number one job for the Hawaii quarterback back 20 some years ago, and won that job and was a record setting quarterback for Hawaii. So Rolovich, the game means something to him as well. And then California went out and they hired Jordan Somerville, who had been serving as the assistant head coach with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to be the program's new offensive coordinator. So California has made a commitment to their quarterback, to the program. So this game means something for Cal. And you look at the quality of the schedule that Cal played by virtue of being a member in the ACC, turning in their first winning season in a number of years in terms of regular season play. This is a team that is focused and wants to perform well. And that really comes down to it with these made-for-TV spectacles in the college postseason. So that's why I'm going to go with Cal here, and I like them. So the beaches, blondes, and bikinis theory, I don't think applies in this game. And that's why I like Cal to win this game outright. A team that played a much better schedule, came off a huge win when they could have called it in after losing their big game, literally and figuratively, against Stanford, watching their coach get canned, and yet the next week they knocked off a damn good SMU team. That's why I'm going with California today. Again, if this was a play at the site and we were in business today, it would be a 10-dime release. 5-1-1 with them in college football this season. That's it, guys. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I will be back here tomorrow. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you're celebrating today. Have a great day. Good luck, everybody.